For the last part of the app, we're going to now program the buttons so that when you click on the right button, the cup will come up, and vice versa. If you click on the wrong button, the bomb will come up. So at the moment, both the bomb and the cup are hidden, so we're going to program the buttons to show one or the other. So we'll start with the first button first. Just grab on the first button, click on it, press Ctrl and drag it in. This time make sure you select an action, and we need to put a new name, so we'll just call it button, and do the same for the second button. We'll call it button 2. Now, just to make sure that they're working, we could put a function to the top button. So we said if you click on the top button, show the cup. So cup is hidden equals false. Let's run it and see. So we'll press Command R, and the build has succeeded. We're going to click on the first one, and the cup has shown up. So that bit is working. So we need to put a function that will now check to see is it the correct button. Is that the correct button? And if it's correct button, it will show the cup. Otherwise, it would show the bomb. So in order to do that, we need somewhere to store, the variable that will determine whether the right button has been clicked or not. So we could put it up at the top. We're going to create a variable, call it beat. Let's just give the value of 1 to start with, but we're going to change the value depending on whether the correct button is clicked or not. Now we already done that by selecting the variable called between 2. So we're going to now change the value of beat to reflect to between 2. So if between 2 is equal to 0, we know that the top button is correct. And if between 2 is equal to 1, then the second button is the correct one. And each time that changes the value of beat. So now beat varies between 1 and 2. So now we need to put in a condition for the function, the first button. So if beat is equal to 0, that means the top button is correct. And if that happens, then we want to show the cup. And we want to hide the bomb. If beat is not 0, that means that button is incorrect. So we want to do the opposite. So you can grab all that, and we'll change that to the opposite. Now we need to do the same thing for the other button. So we could grab it all. But this time we just change the 0 to 1. So we're changing everything we're checking to see what the value of beat is, and we know that if beat equals 1, then the opposite should happen. So our app should be complete. Let's try it out. that's the Belgium flag. So if we click on Austria, the bomb should show up. Okay, let's click it again, the bomb again, the bomb again. Okay, now we could check the second button. So that's correct. That's correct. And that's wrong. So the app is working as it's meant to be working, and our app is complete. If you want to make the app more interesting, you could put a score up there. That's for another day. You could also put a slider somewhere here, maybe at the bottom, that will change the difficulty of the game. So you could, for example, put all the easy flags in one list, and then all the difficult flags in another list, and then you could use the slider to select between the two lists. So that's the end of the app. You can see it's working fine, and that's all for now.